taken up. I would like to talk about one more thing. Regardless of our faith, our culture, and our origins, we are members of the entire human family consisting of 8 billion individuals. This is an age where children are dying because they lack the fundamental nutrition, such as a piece of bread and water. Tens of thousands of refugees are losing their lives on deserts, and the seas of the world are becoming refugee graveyards of a massive scale. And because of wars and conflicts, millions of individuals are forced to abandon their motherlands. And despite all that rhetoric, the value of the human life is becoming much more infinitesimal. So, in summary, every day we experience new tragedies of a very destructive fashion, and in such a world we can never feel safe and secure. On the one hand side, we have 735 million individuals fighting against famine, and on the other hand, you will find luxury, you will find glitz and opulence along with waste. And if that is the situation, it means that we have to admit to the presence of a significant problem. In this day and age, from Africa to Asia, billions and billions of people are working under horrible conditions and circumstances with blood and tears so that a palmful of elite can live in prosperity and in fulfillment. This is not fair, this is not humane, and this is not conscientious. The root of our problem is not the lack of resources, it is the lack of compassion. And as Turkey, we are objecting to this unfairness and unlawfulness. That's why we believe that a fairer world is possible. We are the #1 country on a global scale providing humanitarian aid at such a level that it's a big part of our GDP. We are embracing more than 4 million refugees who have been victimized as a result of conflicts. And we are clearing the northern part of Syria from the presence of terrorist organizations, and thus we are building permanent residential structures for our brothers and sisters so that they can live dignified lives by eradicating the reasons why these people are abandoning their motherlands once and for all. We are catering to their needs from education to security. Until so far, more than 6...
Okay, so that is the Turkey president speaking. We're cutting across to the Canadian Prime Minister, who's live right now.
Development. Climate action is one of the 17 United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, which also include ending poverty, achieving gender equality, and ensuring quality education, among others. Whether it was during ASEAN earlier this week or here at the G20, I continue to talk about these goals to raise awareness with other leaders. It's important to continue the work so that economic growth benefits everyone, including the most marginalized. And Canada will continue doing its part. We will help finance and grow women-led agricultural enterprises in Nigeria. We will help bolster food security in the Democratic Republic of Congo and increase incomes for women in the industry. And we will invest to promote school nutrition in Burkina Faso. This is all in support of the Sustainable Development Goals, and will continue this work in the months and years to come. This was a very productive week, whether it was here at the G20, in my meetings with business leaders, with the different ASEAN leaders or other partners. There is a real enthusiasm for Canada and for our engagement in the Indo-Pacific region. This is good, because our goal coming here is to create more good jobs for Canadians, make life more affordable, and foster economic growth that benefits everyone. Les gens reconnaissent que le Canada a beaucoup à offrir. On va continuer de créer des opportunités d'affaires pour nos entreprises canadiennes et on va continuer d'être une influence positive dans la région et à travers le monde. Merci beaucoup tout le monde.
We will now start the question and answer period. First question goes to Annie Bergeron, CTV.
Hi, Prime Minister. I'm wondering if you can say why you signed on to and agreed to a leaders' declaration that does not condemn Russia for its illegal invasion of Ukraine.
If it was just up to me, the leaders' declaration would have been much stronger, particularly on Ukraine. If it was just up to other countries around the table, it would have been much weaker, particularly on Ukraine. The G20 is an extremely disparate group. and we worked very hard to get as strong language as we possibly could.
Based on the language in the declaration, Ukraine is saying that there is nothing to be proud of from this summit. Do you feel like you've let down Ukraine and the summit itself?
These summits are always an extraordinarily important moment to come together to deal with big global issues. And we all rolled up our sleeves on tackling the challenges of food insecurity, of energy insecurity, of disrupted supply chains, particularly caused by the war in Ukraine that Russia illegally chose to launch. This is an important time to come together and hear and put pressure on countries that do not align with our values, and in that we will continue to do it. Global problems have global solutions, and that's why being here today was really important.
Bonjour, Monsieur Trudeau. Christian Noël de Radio-Canada. En me basant sur ce que vous venez de dire, vous auriez aimé que le langage sur l'Ukraine soit plus fort. D'autres pays auraient préféré que ce soit plus faible. Est-ce que vous êtes capable de m'expliquer de quelle façon le compromis est utile et nécessaire dans cette situation-là pour l'Ukraine?
Prenons par exemple le paragraphe sur l'accord sur les grains dans la mer Noire. On sait très bien que des pays à travers le monde font face à une crise alimentaire ou avec des prix élevés ou bien des manques de denrées et d'alimentation. De le dire aussi clairement dans un communiqué comme ça, qu'on sait très bien que c'est lié à la guerre en Ukraine, et on appelle à tous les pays, y compris la Russie, d'essayer de le résoudre. On voit qu'on est en train de mettre de la pression pour résoudre un problème auquel bien des gens font face, mais qui n'ont pas toujours la bonne information sur le lien avec les actions de la Russie.
Donc, c'était un compromis. Est-ce que ça veut dire que l'influence des pays occidentaux dans le G20 est en train de diminuer?
Non, le G20 a toujours été un rassemblement de pays extrêmement différents. Il y a des démocraties, il y a des monarchies, il y a des pays autoritaires, mais ils représentent ensemble les plus grandes économies de la planète, et on a une responsabilité de pouvoir pousser pour des solutions et de pouvoir résoudre les différends. Et c'est toujours un processus. L'année dernière, on a eu de très bonnes discussions. Cette année, on a eu de très bonnes discussions. On a mis de la pression, on a avancé plusieurs enjeux. Et on va avoir encore des discussions sûrement difficiles, mais franches, l'année prochaine au Brésil pour le G20. Ces conversations continuent, mais nous devons rester là pour livrer les résultats.
Hello, Prime Minister. Karina Roman, CBC News. Many have remarked on how awkward and stilted the public interactions have been between you and Prime Minister Modi. What accounts for that tension?
I think, as always, there are a lot of different subjects that are important for Canadians, whether it's the rule of law and the international rules-based order, whether it's ensuring prosperity, access for our farmers to markets overseas. There's all sorts of different issues, and we've had serious and frank conversations, as Canadians would expect.
But many have described your relations at this time as strained, a challenge, deteriorating. How do you describe the relationship between yourself and Mr. Modi and between Canada and India, and where would you like that relationship to be?
We recognize that India is an extraordinarily important economy in the world and an important partner to Canada on everything from fighting climate change to creating growth and prosperity for citizens. There's always a lot of work to do, and we will continue to do it. Nous reconnaissons à quel point c'est important de travailler avec l'Inde pour créer de la prospérité, pour s'assurer de la lutte contre les changements climatiques, pour assurer accès à nos agriculteurs au marché indien.